welcome back. Today we are on day 21 of this 30-day challenge. And today is a personal share, gonna get pretty vulnerable about relationships and sharing some tools with you about releasing. So for anyone who's been in a negative or toxic or unhealthy relationship, anyone who is carrying pain or trauma or unworthiness from any past relationships, then this video is going to be for you. So as always, as you're hopping on, drop some hearts down below. If you're catching the replay, comment replay, and let's get started. So this was kind of weighing down on my heart today, and I know actually after talking with a lot of different women the last few weeks, this has been a consistent thing that's coming up. And so I felt like, popping in to share a bit of my own experience as well as some tips to help. So I think sadly most of us have probably been in a relationship, whether it's like romantic or, with family or friends, where awesome, some hearts, hey, welcome. I think we've all been in a place where we felt like we didn't matter, or we felt like our voice didn't matter, wasn't heard. And I know for me personally, and this comes with like a trigger warning, so if you are highly sensitive to some of these things, like maybe this isn't for you. But for me, when I was raped a few years back, like the level of disempowerment and like unworthiness that came from that experience, and the amount of really feeling like my voice didn't matter, was like unparalleled. And so you hear me talk a lot on my different videos about like reactivating your voice and realizing your voice matters. And that's because I felt totally silenced. I felt like my voice didn't matter, and I felt really judged and afraid to even speak up, to share with people, because of the way society perceives things, because of the way that so often we point the finger and like victim blame and stuff like that. And so a huge part of my process to like feel empowered again, to find my voice again, and therefore to create more healthy, conscious relationships, conscious partnerships, was in the inner healing work. And like really, I was writing about it today, like really going inwards and committing to myself. And so task one, if you're someone who has, maybe this has just happened once, or maybe this has happened multiple times in relationships with the same partner, with different partners, but if there's ever been that feeling of like not really being respected by them, not feeling like an equal, and feeling supported, seen, heard, or loved, then task one for you today is to set some time aside, create a really safe space for yourself, and either journal or reflect and just kind of process some of these emotions of the way that this experience or these multiple experiences made you feel. And warning, I guess, is that like it will bring up emotions, but what's so important, what's so empowering is that like if we don't release them, they stay suppressed. And so even for me with my voice, like as long as I continued to hide what I had experienced, then I was continuing to give all my power to that shame, to that secrecy, to that unworthiness, to feeling small and staying quiet. And so I was just continuing to strengthen that version of me and that identity. Let me know if any of you can relate to this as you're watching. Feel free to comment down below. And so what I found is through the releasing work, through that inner healing work, which I actually have like a 5-day challenge that is not focused specifically on, relationships and releasing trauma, but it's really, really helpful in shifting, releasing, clearing out old parts of ourselves and realigning with that new self. So if you'd like that challenge to help you, comment challenge and I will send that to you after. But like what I found was in doing that inner healing work and really releasing, I saw the amount of stuff I was carrying from this and just the way it was playing out in all areas of my life after. Because my moment of trauma created this really big imprint of like feeling extremely unworthy and feeling extremely silenced. And I can look at like how much that continued in relationships to the masculine, whether it was bosses, coworkers, you know, people I was interested in, people I wasn't interested in, like attracting so many different men who, like, in a sense, it looked like they were trying to like push the buttons and see how far they could take things, and they were constantly crossing the line. But because I hadn't processed and released my trauma, because I hadn't found my personal empowerment yet, I let them. And I kind of just stayed quiet or kept trying to avoid and hope like, oh, you know, if I just don't acknowledge or engage, hopefully they will back off and hopefully we'll create more space. But I hadn't fully stepped into the identity, that version of me who was like, fuck no, this isn't cool, I'm not available for this, like this is not at all what I'm interested in or what I'm here for, you know. I didn't fully own my power or worth, so unfortunately I was continuing to attract and vibrate on a frequency that kept bringing people in to reflect and mirror back to me my own feelings of being small, of being unworthy, of not being heard, right? And so this is why it's such a powerful journey when you step into this for yourself, to realize like as you shift and heal and grow, then you start to attract better, because it is just all a mirror and all a reflection. So task 1, as I said, is to spend some time looking at the suppressed emotions, looking at the way that you felt in these past relationships, releasing, crying, writing, you know, shaking. Like you can literally move energy from your body just by shaking it out, okay? Clearing that stuff, just getting any of that stagnant energy out of your mind, body, and soul. And if you want extra help, as I said, comment challenge, and I will drop that down below for you to help you even further with some guided meditation, some more journal prompts, some more things to work through. And then task 2 for today is going to be to start getting clear on like what is it you truly want in a relationship, because a lot of times if we're still unsure, or if we're kind of available for lots, or we're like, well, you know, maybe that's okay, or maybe that's good enough too, and oh, I'd just be happy with that. Well, like if you're settling like that, then you're going to find that you attract just a lot of loose things and loose people. You're not attracting the exact right person who fully sees you in your power, because you don't see yourself in your power yet. And so I've seen some really amazing shifts happen the more I do this myself. And I still get those tests from the universe of like, hey, is she gonna like fully stand in her power here and speak up? Or is she gonna be like, oh, you know, and still fall back and avoid? So I know my personal patterns, and I, with that awareness of not only my patterns and of what I truly want, then I can start to be more of a match for what I actually am like desiring to call in. And then it's so much easier to reject, to dismiss, you know, to not settle for the other stuff, because it's like, no, that's not what I want. Okay, so task 2 is then to get super clear on like what is it you do want, not only in like a relationship and with your partner, but what is it that you want to feel within yourself, the level of confidence, strength, like activated voice, you know, the clarity in who you are and what you're here to do. Because then that is going to allow you to start to translate and shift into that and realign with that every single day, so that you can continue to program yourself to show up more fully and therefore attract that person around you. Okay, so those are your 2 tasks for today. The challenge will help you so much with that as well, because it really shifts you into that future self who is thinking, vibrating, living from a different level, a different frequency, and therefore attracting like only available for the relationships that match that. So if you want that, comment challenge down below. And otherwise, I will see you all on the video tomorrow. I hope you have, oh wait, tomorrow's Saturday. I might, I may or may not do some surprise ones this weekend. We'll see. But I will see you soon, regardless, for the next day of the video challenge. Take care. Sending lots of love.